Hello and welcome to My Own Worst Enemy. I've got a quick unboxing here for you today. This is a brand new game. This is Close the Atlantic World War III. Now this is designed by Michael Raymond. This is currently available through Blue Panther Publishing. And what this is and it says here on the tin, a game of modern naval combat with the focus being mainly on convoy operations. Additional scenarios introduce rules for battles in the Baltic Sea and the Mediterranean. Now, this game is just what it says. It is strictly about convoy. So you're trying to get, as the NATO allies, you're trying to get material from the US across the Atlantic to Europe. And if you do that, you're going to help the front lines in Europe move forward into Russia. If the Russians are successful in stopping you, those lines are going to be pushed back towards the west. So we're going to take a quick look at this. There is a rule book in here, a 22 by 28 inch map. There are, it looks like 2 counter sheets. Those are 5/8 inch counters. We'll see those when we dig in. And a couple of game informational markers, it said, and 40 circle game markers. So that'll be interesting to see. 2 D10s and a D6, and then counters. So let's go ahead and open this up and take a look at what we have. Now I will do a playthrough of this on the channel. So look for that coming up very soon. And this is Blue Panther, and this is one of those canvas style maps, and there's the dice in there. So let's go ahead and get this stuff out. We'll take the dice out first. So just as it says, you're going to get 2 D10s and a D6, and of course they are more than adequate dice to use in a board game. And we will now look at the counter sheets. There are, well, it looks like there are 4 half-size counter sheets, and I'm going to let you look at these close up along with me. Right off the bat, we see there are, well, that's not a good sign when you see mushroom clouds. So it looks like we will have nukes in the game. It is a modern game, so that makes sense. It'd be unfortunate if we have to use those, though. And these look like the front markers they were talking about. There's some supply markers, a satellite marker. That's interesting. And then the actual unit counters are there. Now, these unit counters represent many units, not just a single unit. This is a very high-level game, and it advertises itself as easy to play. So not much information on the backs of these counters. And we're going to put that down. Here's the second counter sheet. There's the tracking counters that we get. Some neutral convoy markers, I'm assuming. There's the beachhead markers when we actually get our convoys across. Again, not much on the back, but again, you don't really need much information on the backs of these counters. And these look like the Russian forces here. See fighters and bombers and submarines and fleets and all kinds of good stuff. Again, I'll let you see the back sides of these. The final counter sheet here. These are very nice looking counters. I mean, I like this. This is, again, Blue Panther, so they're really thick. The almost wooden feeling, I don't know if you can see that, how thick these are, but they're the very, very thick, sturdy. Let's punch one of these out. And they will punch very easily. There is a close-up of a counter. Very nice. No need to clip the corners on these. We will set that aside, and we'll dive in a little further to the box here. We'll take a quick look at the player's aid sheets first, and there's more than just player's aid sheets in here. So this is a player's aid sheet. There is weather in the game, and this looks like a sequence of play. I see weather phase, satellite phase, operations phase, amphibious assault, convoy supply, and then you end the turn. And there's a reference chart on the back side of this. Different types of fire resolution. Nice nice player's aid sheets, I should say, thick paper. This looks like another player's aid, but this looks like we're going to track your game turns and some of the information in the game. And then this is the map of Europe, and I believe this is where you will place, where did they go? I believe this is where you will place these front markers, where it says, I got that upside down. Well, there's Lithuania. So you can see Lithuania under the mushroom clouds. So that will indicate where the front lines are, and they will change based upon your success in getting those convoys across the Atlantic. So that's pretty cool. And then we have the rule book. This is your typical Blue Panther rule book, which means it's going to be good. So it's semi-gloss paper with very large font. So this is easy to read. Nice index there. There's your game phases again. I'll just flip through really quick. And again, it is in color. It's very thick paper, so this should hold up over time. Very nice. And then there's, in the back of this, you have, of course, the your player's aid cards are reprinted here for convenience, and that's nice. Some nice play analysis here and color examples. And looking at that shot, that looks like that was a prototype. So you get much nicer components than the prototype, which is always nice. Another shot there of an example of play, counter placement. So that's it. Let's take a quick look at the map. This, again, like I said, is a Blue Panther, one of their newer canvas style maps, and these are nice. I'm going to try to make some room here so we can get this down. Not a 22 by 34 inch map. It is a little smaller than that, but it's almost a 22 by 34. So that's going to lay nice on this table when we do the playthrough. So nice color. I'm getting a Victory in the Pacific vibe from this map, which is a good thing. So you can see the ports on the side here. So I guess ports will come into play. And here's the, in this lower right-hand corner is the other scenarios they were talking about. And I guess in the full campaign, now there is a scenario 3, I think, which includes the entire campaign. Let's take a look at that real quick, where I believe you will actually have some influence on the ground forces other than just trying to run the convoys across. So here's scenario 3. Adds the ability to conduct air and missile attacks on the front line. So that's what I was thinking of. So you can actually influence the front lines through some air and missile attacks. So that's kind of cool. And air superiority looks like that's introduced. There are solitaire rules in the game. You can see here in the back where it says solitaire rules. Russian solitaire decision roles. Now they're not, it doesn't look like it's anything that's in super great detail. But again, this is a very high level game, and it doesn't take much to figure out what your opponent would do. And so this is nice to have if you were going to play this solitaire. Now this is a 2-player game. So when I play this, I don't know if I'm going to use the solitaire rules or if I'm just going to double hand this thing like I normally do. I have more fun when I double hand these games. It's just, it's more, I don't know. It's kind of like you get a narrative that just using the solitaire rules might not provide all the time. It also, when you use the solitaire rules, sometimes that can get in the way of gameplay because it's one more element to worry about. There's more rules that you're actually adding to the regular rule set. So sometimes that can get a bit in the way. If you have a preference, if you'd like to see me use the solitaire rules, or if you'd like to see me just do this two-handed 2-player, let me know in the comments down below, and I will do that. So that's it. Like I said, this is Close the Atlantic World War III. Brand new game. Get this at Blue Panther if you are interested. I will do a playthrough here fairly shortly. I'm trying to go through now and learn this game. Not a difficult game to learn at all. Just it's a very small rule book. It feels thick and heavy because the paper is so nice. But it's not a rules heavy game. And I will, once I get the rules down as best as I can, we will do a playthrough here so you can see how this plays. It looks interesting. I'm not a huge modern war guy, but this does look very interesting and fun. Stay tuned, subscribe to the channel if you have not, so you'll be notified of when that playthrough is coming up. Give the video a thumbs up if you don't mind doing that. That helps me gain viewership on YouTube, and it encourages me to make more of these videos. As always, thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you back here next time.